Alright, for the 4-2-C notes, which is what these actually are, even though it says 5-2, we start with blocking. Blocking is when we want to separate by a characteristic and then put randomly into groups. So this way, if we think that something is going to happen differently for one group or another, we can see if that's actually true or not. So we are going to do a diet drug experiment that we believe differs based on gender. So we are going to take, let's say that we have 100 men and 80 women. So we're going to separate them out, and we are going to randomly assign 50 to the placebo and 50 to the drug, and the 80 women we're going to assign randomly 40 to placebo and the other 40 to the drug. And then after that, we'll wait the month. We'll perform the experiment the exact same way, but this way we're sure to get 90 in each group, 50 of them male, 40 of them female, so each group is even based on gender. So other ways we can block, we can go through a number, age, race. If we're doing a diet drill, maybe we want to do diet drug, we may want to do it based on weight. We could do it based on, diabetic or not. Maybe that matters. Any number of things, anything you can think of that you may think may affect the outcome, we can block. The next one is match pair design. And that's where basically each block has two people in it who are very similar. In fact, sometimes it's the same person doing the experiment twice. And so we'll talk about that as we go forward. So how would I create a block, not a block, but a matched pair for the diet drug? So since we have the diet drug, what's the most important thing? Well, I would start out with the two heaviest people that we have and randomly assign one to the placebo and one to the drug. And then we do the next two heaviest, one to the placebo, one to the drug, all the way down to the two lightest that we have. One gets the placebo, one gets the drug, and remember, each one of these still has to be randomly decided, because if we don't have randomness, then the experiment doesn't work out very well. Alright, so let's say we want to compare two bicycle tires. How would we make this a match pair experiment? Well, like I said, sometimes we use the same person for both groups. So we would use the same person gets two tires for the bicycle. And then the question is, how does the randomness come in? Flip a coin where heads, the new tire in the front, tails, new tire is in the back. And that way, even though it's still the same person using both tires, they're going to ride their bike the same amount, obviously. So therefore, we can check the wear and tear on the front and on the back. Double blind is when the subject and the, I will say this for lack of a better term, recorder doesn't know which group the subject is in. At some point in time, someone's got to know, but that would be somebody else, not the subject or the person who's recording the information. So if I was going to make the bicycle tire experiment double blind, I would just send sets of tires and I would have them paired up already, and I would have them write the serial number of the one in front, so that when they mail back the information, I will know which one is right. Okay, for the diet pill one, how would I make the diet pill double blind? Once again, I would have the person who is weighing just write down the bottle number of the person. That way that when they send the results, they will know which group the person is in, because the person who receives the results would have a key to figure out which one is the person who is taking a drug or which one is taking the placebo. Finally, one of the problems that we sometimes see is lack of realism. And this happened when someone was trying to do a cigarette, and the cigarette had no nicotine. So people who smoke on a regular basis and was given this new cigarette that they said was just as good, they automatically knew something was wrong because they could feel the effects of having nicotine withdrawal. So you always want to make sure that people believe what's going on, such as when we talked about the Coke versus Pepsi, some people said if you give them all the same drink, they're going to know that it's all the same drink. And that's it for the notes.